The Carathian fleet hung in the void like metallic vultures, their ships casting long shadows across Earth's scorched surface. Admiral Vextar watched through the observation deck of his flagship as the last human resistance crumbled beneath. Their orbital bombardment, the blue marble that had once teemed with billions, now smoldered, its cities reduced to ash and ruin. "Status report," he commanded, his four eyes never leaving the dying planet below. "All major population centers eliminated, Admiral," his tactical officer reported with satisfaction. "Estimated human casualties 97%. The remaining survivors are scattered and pose no threat." Vextar allowed himself a moment of triumph. The Carathian Empire had spent 3 centuries expanding across the galaxy, subjugating every species they encountered. Humanity had been just another obstacle, albeit a surprisingly stubborn one. "Prepare the funeral procession," he ordered. "Let the galaxy witness what happens to those who defy the Empire." The massive coffin ships descended through Earth's atmosphere, their obsidian hulls gleaming in the firelight of burning forests. Each vessel was a monument to Carathian supremacy, designed to carry the dead of conquered civilizations to their final resting place in the void. Today they would collect what remained of humanity. As the funeral fleet landed in the ruins of what had once been New York, Vextar felt a tremor of unease. Something was wrong. The humans had fought too hard, sacrificed too much, only to surrender at the end. In his experience, desperate species either fled or fought to the last breath. They didn't simply wait. "Admiral," his communications officer called out, "we're receiving a transmission from the surface. Audio only." "Put it through." The voice that filled the command bridge was calm, almost conversational. "Greetings, Admiral Vextar. This is Dr. Sarah Chen, speaking on behalf of the human species." Vextar's mandibles clicked in amusement. "Dr. Chen, you are addressing the conqueror of your world. Have you called to beg for mercy?" "Quite the opposite," she replied. "I called to thank you." The bridge fell silent. Vextar's tactical displays showed the funeral ships loading what appeared to be human bodies, thousands upon thousands of coffins being carefully transported into the cargo holds. "Thank us?" Vextar's voice carried a dangerous edge. "For gathering in one place. You see, Admiral, those aren't our dead you're collecting. We've been preparing for this day ever since your first scout ships arrived in our system 3 years ago." The Admiral's blood ran cold as understanding began to dawn. Dr. Chen's voice continued, now carrying an undertone of steel. "Did you really think we'd give up so easily? Humans have a saying. The best way to defeat your enemy is to make them think they've already won. Every body your ships are loading contains enough antimatter to level a city block." Vextar spun toward his tactical officer. "Scan those coffins now!" The results appeared on his screen seconds later. Each coffin pulsed with contained energy signatures that his instruments had somehow missed during the initial sweeps. The humans had shielded them perfectly, making them appear as simple wooden boxes containing organic matter. "But your cities," Vextar snarled. "Your people, we watched them burn." "Mostly empty buildings and cloned tissue samples," Dr. Chen replied with bitter satisfaction. "The real population evacuated to underground bunkers years ago. We've been living like moles, Admiral, but we've been living. And while you thought you were conducting a funeral, we were building our own coffins, for you." The Carathian ships began lifting off in panic, but it was too late. The funeral procession that had seemed like humanity's final humiliation was already dispersing throughout the fleet. Thousands of antimatter charges were now distributed across every major vessel in the Armada. "You're bluffing," Vextar said, but his voice lacked conviction. "Are we?" The transmission crackled with static as Dr. Chen's voice took on an almost casual tone. "Computer, execute Protocol Lazarus." The first explosion lit up the void like a newborn star. The Carathian flagship Dominion simply ceased to exist, its atoms scattered across the cosmos in a brilliant flash. Then another ship detonated, and another, each one a funeral pyre for its Carathian crew. Vextar watched in horror as his invincible fleet was consumed by the very coffins they had come to fill. The humans had turned their own funeral into a weapon of unprecedented destruction. "This is impossible," he whispered, watching his command ship's sister vessels vanish one by one. "Nothing's impossible if you're willing to die for it." Dr. Chen's voice echoed through the chaos. "The difference between us, Admiral, is that you came here expecting to attend our funeral. We came prepared to attend yours." The antimatter charges aboard Vextar's own ship detonated with perfect synchronization. In the space of 10 minutes, the most powerful fleet in Carathian history was reduced to expanding clouds of superheated plasma. From the safety of their underground bunkers, the surviving humans watched through hardened sensors as the last of their oppressors burned. The funeral procession was complete, but the mourners and the dead had switched places. Dr. Chen removed her headset and turned to address the gathered survivors. "Signal the hidden colonies. Tell them Earth endures. Tell them the Carathian Empire just learned what happens when you try to bury humanity before we're actually dead." Above ground, the real funeral began as human ships emerged from concealed hangars, ready to reclaim their world. The coffins had indeed been meant for a funeral, just not the one their enemies had expected. In the cold vacuum of space, debris from the Carathian fleet drifted silently, each piece a monument to the fatal error of underestimating human ingenuity. They had come to Earth expecting to attend humanity's last rites. Instead, they had written their own.